Hello and welcome to our video series for IT leaders. Today we've received a question from an IT leader which is, how do I help my team to speak up in meetings?
So I guess the question is this an individual or is it the team? Maybe we can cover both. So I've had a lot of individuals come to me and speak to me about how they could speak up in teams and how I could help them, and there are a number of reasons for that. One is they don't feel comfortable, particularly in large teams that we operate in today, and they don't feel comfortable about speaking up because there are other dominant members that always talk in the group meetings. It could also be a number of personal reasons they don't want to speak up too, so you can talk about that. But maybe if it's a dominating thing where you've got a couple of group members who always talk, really happy to, they're probably up there, whiteboards, flip chart pens, whatever it is.
There's always one.
Yeah. It's usually me. But if you have that situation and you need to recognise that everyone's got a part to play in your team and everyone's got something to say. So as a leader, you can consciously make that effort to ask people. And the danger with that is if you go, right, Bob, what do you think? And you're putting someone on the spot, and particularly if they're introverted or feel really uncomfortable, or the imposter syndrome kicks in and then fear and it all just falls apart. So a really good tip would be to give the subject or help your team prepare before that meeting. So for example, if you're going to talk about X on Friday, then each of those team members can go away and think about it, particularly those ones that are quiet and they want to say something, they've got something to say, and then maybe take it in turns.
An extension of that I quite liked was, certainly if you think it's going to be a contentious subject or otherwise, is get everybody to write their opinion or the position that they're taking on the argument, and then someone else in the room delivers their opinion.
Yes, yeah.
Because you have to it helps in a number of ways. It makes sure that all of the opinions are heard, but it also means you have to step into the other person's view of the world, which may well contradict your own, and that's a really interesting way of exploring a subject. So certainly that. There's perhaps just pick on one point. So a leader can help to make sure that everybody's got the space to speak. Linking to about the willingness to speak and the fear of it. Again, if you're talking about a contentious subject or something where people are concerned that there might be ramifications, even if they speak their mind. I really don't like the new strategy for the organisation. We've got to do something different. How do we influence it? That might be a difficult thing for someone to say. So the second task, other than making space, is to make the room safe, allow the opinions of people. One way to do that potentially is to say something almost controversial yourself, to start saying it's okay to talk about these things in this room. Let's hear what people really think. You could even describe that you've heard some concerns in advance of the meeting about this, and this. Let's talk about those. What other views do people have in the room? What other concerns do they hold? Things to start enabling it. Even go as far as to state that it's an open room. Yeah,
and depending on the size of the team, you can do it. You can treat it as a bit like a long conference. So you could have key subject areas of topics that you want to talk about, and people will just swarm around those and talk about it, and
good idea.
Post-it notes and things. So make it a bit more informal, but you'll get the point, because what you'll get is those really good discussions, and almost challenging discussions if people are used to the stand-up situation, people will stand up and talk about it, they'll huddle around it and get really quite active about it.
Yeah. Another good point, actually, just to underscore what you were saying there, is around different formats. You started to talk about unconferences there, but there are lots of other things that you might be able to do in that group. So mixing it up, having different people facilitate, having different environments, and doing some other kind of game exercises. We can certainly help you with some ideas for games and things that you might be able to play, all change the dynamic of the meeting, which give you a chance to they give you a chance to elicit more information and more engagement, more interaction from people. At least you'll learn.
Yeah, and maybe the point here is that team meetings shouldn't just be, here we go, it's Friday, 10 o'clock, and it's the same old, you walk into the room and everyone trundles in and someone's late because the coffee machine's broken. Or I think you have to put some effort into it. If you want to get meaningful things out of it, you've got to plan it and put some effort into it. And you can get other people to help you. It's not just your meeting, and then it becomes a bit more exciting.
It really does.
So we hope that helps and you've got some good points out of it. If you have any points you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear from you. But for now, we say thank you.